Can you guys hear my dog snoring? My dog is snoring, sorry. That just made me giggle. Hey everybody, it's me, Jen. Welcome to Sober Like Me, where we discuss everything that has to do with sobriety, drug addiction, family issues, all the good stuff. Today we're going to talk about how do I know if I have a problem? Stick around, we're going to talk about it.
This could be good for me. Lately I was feeling like I need a purpose.
So a lot of people come to me and they're like, Jen, I don't know if I have a problem or not. You know, I'd go out on weekends, I have fun, invite some friends over for a wine night with moms, or I take, my kids to the park and we have some wine together. This is a problem. I don't know what to do. Part of me wants to say, you know, if you have a problem. But then again, we're really good at lying to ourselves. For a very long time, I told myself I was fine. I didn't have a problem. I was good. Like, don't worry about me, right? Everything's fine. Part of me wants to say, you know, when it's too much. But then again, we don't. So the first thing you're going to ask yourself is, have my priorities changed? So let's discuss what that really means. If you're planning your day around alcohol and drugs, that's a red flag. If your finances are taking a back seat to drugs, that's a huge one. If you're postponing bills, or if you're paying only partial of the bill just because of the fact you want to have enough money for drugs and alcohol, that's a pretty good sign that something's up. Hygiene. Are you showering like you're supposed to? Do you wake up and feel refreshed, or do you wake up hungover? Do you wake up feeling like you're needing something? That's a pretty good sign. So check your priorities. If you're noticing there's a shift from what it used to be, that's definitely something to look into, for sure. The transformation to becoming an addict and the realization that you are one, they happen at different velocities, unfortunately. So it's almost like you've already become that person. You've become the addict. You've become, the person who's struggling with substance use disorder, and you haven't realized it yet, or you're not willing to admit it yet. The thing I would ask myself is my life become chaotic or messy due to my drug and alcohol use? Finances again, am I spending too much on substances? Well, what is too much? If you're buying heroin, meth, pills off the street, that's probably like a dead giveaway. Marijuana and alcohol are relatively they're friendly, right? Like they're everywhere, Although marijuana is not federally legal, just so you know. So it is still committing a crime when you buy it. I don't know if you guys knew that. If you're buying the hardcore stuff to begin with, it's probably like an automatic, like, that's a problem. I mean, for anybody who has had any meth addiction, it just takes the first time and that's that. You're hooked. How are your relationships? Have they become difficult or volatile? Do people say to you, oh my gosh, you need to stop drinking because you're being ridiculous? And you're like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you punched me last night. And you're like, you're lying. I have no idea what you're talking about. If people are telling stories about you repeatedly, they've never made stories up before, that's a huge indicator. Especially when there's that denial phase. Take a video and show it to them when they're sober. You're not going to solve anything when somebody's intoxicated, but show it to them when they're sober or coherent enough to watch what's going on. A lot of times when you see yourself acting a certain way, it kind of like brings about that light bulb. Am I lying about the amount I'm using? Every person who struggles has lied about it. And if you say you haven't, you're lying about it. Can you guys hear my dog snoring? My dog is snoring, sorry. That is me. If you're lying, and if you're lying, like, even if you're like, I only took 4 pills, you're not supposed to. Am I hanging out with people that are just my drinking and drugging buddies? Maybe you have all sorts of friends, right? You do all sorts of things with different friends. Maybe you paint with one person and you go out for walks with another, or whatever it is you like to do. But you notice that you're hanging out with certain people more because you know that you're going to get high or drunk with them. And then you start hanging out with them all the time, right? Or even the situation could be like this. You're not hanging out with any of your friends, and you have a whole new group of friends who are like your drugging and drinking buddies. That's a huge red flag. So what is it like if I stop using? If you try to take away the drug or the drink, what does it feel like? Do you feel like your skin's crawling? Do you feel obsessed? Like, do you wake up in the morning, you're like, I have to have this? That's a huge red flag. Huge. And do you feel better once you get it? That's another one. These are all things to look out for. And then you say to me, okay, so I see this. What do I do? Well, you can find a support group. And even during COVID, there are Zoom support groups everywhere. You can find them online. You can find any combination of anything that you can possibly think of. Like literally, you name it, there is a support group out there for you. It's not just NA and AA, although there's nothing wrong with those, but there is something out there for everybody. If you do have a support group or you do go somewhere, put it in the comments. Let me know what you do. You can find somebody like myself, a peer recovery coach. There's a lot of hospitals throughout the country that participate in what's called Project Assert, and there might be coaches that are stationed right at that hospital that you can go talk to or get into treatment. Biggest thing is finding sober people to talk to. I know it's hard. It's so hard to admit you have a problem. And I'm not saying you do, but if there's a chance that you do, it's really, really important to connect, because you may not see it, but the sober community is huge and vast. And I'm telling you, if you don't know, if you're in an area where you have no idea, Google it. Google's your best friend. Come on. When I was a kid, we had an encyclopedia that you had to buy and renew every 5 years, which you didn't. And I grew up in the 90s and I had encyclopedias from 1960. You can Google just about anything. I don't recommend Googling everything, but you can Google just about anything. And you can totally find, what you're looking for. You can find people. You can connect with people. And if you can't find it, give me a holler. I'll find something in your area. Stay well. And if you like what we talked about today, hit that subscribe. Join me for next time. Who knows what I'm going to talk about? Be safe, stay well, and we will talk next time. Be safe. Ooh, what was that? I feel like, darling, like I need a martini, but I'm sober, so I'm going to like... Whoa, look at you guys. I got a ring light. Dude. You can see like all the imperfections of my makeup. Look, watch. This
She's like that evil.
I need like Botox right here.
That was the worst face. Literally. You're recording, by the way.
I know. You just ruined it. Thanks. Come in here, dear. Come on. Yeah, hello. Hello, Bill. Hello.
It's very bright.
Very bright. It's very bright.
Yeah,
this is the best birthday present ever. Look at that. They look crazy. Crazy eyes.
Like that mesmerizing thing.
What the f***? You sound like every 5
Signing out.
This is kind of like I got pearls, which are not real. I'm gonna stop messing around and go to work. You guys have a great day.